What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome back to 3QS, 3 Questions. We got a special guest in the building. We got Paige.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, Bon. How are you?
I'm doing great. I can't complain. I'm actually glad you're here.
Thank you.
I know it's taken a little bit for us to get to this point. You know what I mean? So what they say, all good things are, I forget the damn thing. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. But all good things are, you got to work for it.
Sure.
And I definitely worked to get you. I definitely worked to get
Thank you, Vaughn.
get the schedule here. So let's go ahead and get right into it.
Okay.
So question number 1, which is what I ask everybody. Y'all
Yes.
should know the question by now. Who is Paige?
Okay. Who is Paige? Yes. I knew this was going to be the first question because I actually, in preparation for this, went back and watched every single episode.
Oh, dope. Dope.
To, get the vibe, get the feels. So, who is Paige? Well, hi, everybody. I'm Paige. And I have heard this my whole life, but I really am a ball of energy. Yeah, I hear that all the time. One of my favorite compliments that I've ever been given is some people are like a ray of sunshine, but you, my friend, are the mother effing sun. So like literally a ball of energy, literally. And yeah, I just like to bring positive vibes where I go. I'm high energy. That's what I've been told.
Positive vibes, I feel them.
Thank you, Vaughn.
All the time. Like I've never had a bad moment with you.
Thank you, Vaughn.
Honestly.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big part of who I am. I'm just high energy, and I'm also a sister, of course. I have an older sister, and she's my best friend till the end of time. My mom and dad are also huge parts of my life. We're a very close-knit family.
Nice.
They are from New York. My sister and I were raised in Virginia, born and raised here. And yeah, so we kind of split our time between the states. Like I have a lot of family up in New York. So yes, I'm also a dancer, of course. I've been dancing for 20 years out of 26 years. And I am also a teacher and an educator in both dance and public school.
Now that's something that I do want to get into.
Yes.
Later down the line. As far as this interview goes.
Right.
Because that was definitely something that I was interested in, being an educator and then an instructor.
Cool.
So as far as dancing is concerned,
Yeah.
when it comes to like where you're from,
Okay.
So you've like you spent most of your time in VA.
Most of it, yeah.
Most of it,
yeah.
Is it mostly all of it, or no, not all of it?
I mean, it depends. Like, I lived there. Like I said, I was born and raised there for the most part. But I will probably go up to New York. I try maybe once a month. So at least to visit family. And sometimes I take classes up there, like dance. And I have a lot of good friends up there. So, but yeah, majority is in Virginia, DMV area, kind of. Where I spend my time. I'd say
Okay, so does your sister dance?
She doesn't, but she is a phenomenal makeup artist.
So does she do your makeup?
She does.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about it when you go to do photo shoots or videos.
Right. If she's here. So she actually lives in New York currently,
Okay.
and I live in Virginia. So, of course, when she's around, I will always, ask her to do
snatch her up.
Sometimes, exactly. Sometimes I'll be her model, like for projects and stuff. But yeah, so we definitely are both artsy, but I'm more performance and she's more visual.
Okay, so you say your parents are from I don't know if they're from, but they stay in New York.
Yeah, they're from New York.
They're from New York.
Yes.
Okay, what part of New York?
So my mom's from Long Island and my dad's from Staten Island.
Long Island and Staten Island, so they're both from islands.
The islands, yes.
I mean,
The
Manhattan
islands.
is an island too. Like
True.
so.
Yes.
Yeah,
it
so I'm
is.
from New York.
Yes.
And I think we've talked about this
We
before.
did, yes.
Like, I'm from New York, but I'm not from nowhere near Staten Island
Right.
or Long Island or whatnot.
Queens, right?
No.
Yonkers?
Exactly.
Yonkers. Okay.
So yeah, you got it. I was about to correct you, but you did it.
Saved
you
it.
did it. You did it. You
Yes.
saved it. So I'm from Yonkers. So you grew up in VA, but
Yes.
like you was going back and forth between VA and
Somewhat.
okay.
That's kind of been more recent. So yes, I was born in Virginia. My family and I actually had the amazing opportunity to live in London for 4 years.
London.
Yes.
Okay. How was that?
How was it?
How was it?
Amazing.
Okay.
I was quite young. I was there from 4 till 8 years old.
Okay.
So I was young, but I do remember it. And both my sister and I went to ASL, which is the American school in London. And that's K through 12. So it's like a huge school, very hands-on learning, like the multicultural night I remember being blown away by. So there's a lot of good memories with that.
Okay.
We lived in London. That was due to my parents' jobs. They both actually were able to get permission to move out there. And then we moved back. We came back to Virginia, moved right back into the house that we were in before, which was amazing. And then as of recent, I would say like the last, I think it's 6 years, my dad had accepted a job up in New York. And so we kind of like split our time between the states.
Split your time between the states, like that's like a flight. That's not a drive. That's not a 45 minutes.
It's not as bad of a drive as some people think, and because we're so used to it, it's just kind of like doesn't. We get there in like 4.5 hours.
Jeez, the flight from London to here.
Oh, London to here?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's the flight. I thought you meant from Virginia to New York.
No. Yeah, from VA to New York, just about 3.5, 4 hours. Right. I get that, but I'm talking about London. So wait a minute. So maybe I totally missed that.
Okay.
What were you splitting your time between?
Now, like more so now than ever, Virginia and New York.
Okay.
My whole family was able to move over to London. We were there for 4 years and only came back to the States like once a year.
Okay.
I think to visit family and back to school shopping.
Okay. So now I get it. Okay, I get it.
Yes.
All right. So rolling into question 2.
Okay.
All right, because you kind of like been touching on it this whole time.
Okay.
As far as being an educator.
Yes.
An instructor.
Definitely.
Being an educator, right, is like an academic. You were teaching students as far as arithmetic and stuff like that.
Yep.
Is it very similar as far as teaching dance? I know it's a different dynamic.
Of course,
I understand that. It's a different dynamic, but as far as like going into being an instructor in a dance studio, does it help you? Has it helped you? Being an academic instructor?
Yes. I like that question, Vaughn. Yes, absolutely. I did go to James Madison University and got my degree in education. So I have a master's in the art of teaching. Which
wait. I see. I never knew that. There's an actual master's.
Yes.
That you can a master's in teaching. So there's an actual course and path to teaching.
100%. Yeah. A lot of teachers actually are required to have their master's degree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now
that you say that, now it makes total sense.
Yes. And I have to give a shout out to JMU. The JMU education program is pretty top tier, nationwide, like known. So very proud alumni from that program. But I do think the beauty in how to teach can apply kind of wherever you go, right? Because like they teach you, like you need a hook, right? You have to get your students' attention in some way.
I think you mastered that.
Thank you.
From what I've witnessed, I think you got that down. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay. I really appreciate that. So yeah, it's all about engagement and making them feel like they have some ownership over what they're learning and how to just kind of chronologically go through a lesson and like how to build upon it and what's our goal. Like this is the layout, right? Like everybody likes a good heads up, I think. So if you can describe like this is what we're going to do for the hour, these are our goals, that can apply in a math lesson or a dance lesson, I think. So all that education and training, I think has helped apply to multiple things.
Dance is a lot more physical.
For sure, yeah.
Well, I've never seen you in an academic space.
Okay.
But I have seen you in a dance space.
Yes.
And again, like I said before, bravo. I definitely seen you doing your thing and managing your class. So which is dope.
Thank you.
So yeah.
And when I was a third grade teacher, I would have them dancing. How
was that though, being a third grade teacher?
Oh, I loved it. I really loved it. So third grade, I always thought I was going to be a second grade teacher. I thought that was like my sweet spot. But then the school that hired me, I really like respected the principal. And she was like, look, we have an open third grade position. I think you would thrive in it. And she was so right because third graders are funny. They're 8 and 9. and they know when they're being funny. And that's what I love, because I laugh all the time. And so they're still at that age that they love school, they love their teacher, they know that they're being funny. And honestly, another great reason to teach third grade is they don't smell. Like when they come back from recess and PE,
they don't smell.
Third grade is the last grade that happens. Fourth and fifth, forget about it.
So just sticking with that question for a little bit. So you're teaching, academics.
Yes.
And then you're an instructor, dance. Do you think that's your calling, to teach?
I have always loved teaching, yes. And I probably think that in the future I would go back to being a traditional classroom teacher. But my sincere passion is dance. And that is actually why I left being a third grade teacher. Because, so I went through my first year, and the first school year was 2019 to 2020. So March 2020, we got taken out of school, right? It was virtual, and which was the worst, because March through June is like the most fun in elementary school. That's when you're doing your field days, your field trips, your end of class parties and stuff. So that was kind of hard. And then the second year, like I said, was all virtual, which really took a toll, like on everybody. And I showed up every day. My students were great. But it was hard. It's hard almost, I hate to say, like entertaining an 8-year-old via Zoom, but you kind of were doing that because you're like, okay, how are we going to stay engaged? How are we going to do this?
Yeah.
So during that time, dance. Like it kept calling me, and I was like, I think while I can, I need to pursue dance. I'm a substitute teacher now. I still want to help public education as I can, but I do need to perform and dance while I'm able to,
Right.
But teaching, as for that being my calling,
I mean, it kind of seems like it, because from the outside looking in.
Yeah, no, thank you.
It looks like that.
I definitely.
I don't want to assume too much.
Right. No, definitely. I've never thought of it that way, but I suppose actually, because I do love teaching, and teaching dance has just allowed both of those worlds to collide.
Yeah.
And it's something I am very passionate about. So yeah, I do love educating, and my student, like, it's always the students that are the best. They give you energy, and you feed off of them, and sometimes they'll ask questions that you're like, oh, that's a great question,
that
and
makes
help
sense.
them through it. Yeah. So definitely. But I also love being a student, of course, like taking other people's class, observing.
I've seen you do that too.
Thank you, Vaughn. Yes.
So, yeah, I think being a teacher, you gotta have to have being humble.
Oh, definitely.
Being able to learn.
Absolutely.
Outside of you teaching.
Yes.
So I've seen you do that. I've seen a lot of dancers humble themselves and like, hey, I'm gonna take a class.
Yes.
And I think that's dope. I really do think that's dope.
Yes. And it's cool to like see how that teacher teaches, and like what their style is and how they run their class. I pull a lot of inspiration from them too, and I am constantly self-reflecting, like, what could I have done? Ooh, she did it like that. Okay, how can I implement that next time? Like, and that I think is an amazing part of teaching. You have to do that. Like, you have to think, okay, what went well? What didn't go well? And I also kind of credit that to my education, because that was constant. They were like, you have to do that. You have to like understand what went well and what didn't, and then grow from there. And I think it's just this ever evolving.
Yeah, I don't think you ever really stop learning.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
right,
kind of like
of course, in life as well.
In life you don't, but in dance you don't.
Right.
In your chosen profession you don't. It's always a learning experience going forward. It never really stops. Even with me doing this. Yes. I'm still learning how to even interview people.
Right. Sure.
So I think I'm okay with it. I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm
more
all
than
right.
okay. More than okay.
Saying we all have our talents.
Yes.
I can't dance, and I ain't gonna show nobody
nothing.
I don't believe that. I'm Hitch, 2-step. Right here is home. That's it. That's nope. I'm not even gonna step out there.
You film it so well. You have an eye for it too, so that's impressive.
Well, okay. I'll take that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Take it. Yes.
I'll take that.
Good.
So, like I was telling you before we actually began to film.
Okay.
I was having a hard time coming up with a third question.
Okay.
But I think I have a question for you.
Okay.
It's kind of basic.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm so ashamed. That is so basic.
Oh.
I would like to know, what do you see yourself doing in the next 3 to 5 years? As far as, because you're an instructor, you're a dancer.
Yes.
And we've worked on a project before, which ended up being pretty dope.
Right.
What do you think is the future for Paige?
Ooh. Another good question.
At least for 3 to 5 years from now. I mean, I'm not saying 20 years, but 3 to 5 years from now.
For sure. What's the plan? So thank you for asking that. So I guess I'll start by saying my birthday is October 27th. And
what zodiac sign is that?
Scorpio.
Okay.
So this is my golden year, though. I'm coming up on my golden year. I'm going to turn 27 on October 27th. So in like 2.5 months. And so I am determined to make that my best year. I've been thinking that. I'm like, what steps are you going to take in order to do that? Because truly performing, dream goal is to go on tour as a backup dancer. I think that would be amazing, to travel and dance and like, it's just the live crowd. It's the live crowd that I live
that
for.
That live crowd can be very intoxicating.
Yes.
Believe me, I've been in front of it.
Yes. When? Wait, tell me.
Not as a dancer.
Okay. Well,
I've been in front of a crowd when I was doing music. I was doing rapping. I was a rapper. So I was doing music and being in front of a crowd, open up for big acts and stuff like that.
Okay,
so so I was doing that, in a past life.
Sure.
But I was doing that and I was opening up for big acts, and being in front of people is definitely intoxicating.
Yes.
I'll tell you that right now.
That's a good way of putting it. Yes. And so I want that. Like I love that feeling. I love performing. So that is hopefully what's going to go down within the next 3 to 5 years. I just need to attend more auditions. I'm getting my website together, like all these steps to hopefully really make 27, first of all, the greatest year, and just like set myself up for success, because I've gotten very, it's ebbs and flows, right? Always in life. And I'm not going to lie, I was sort of in a rut, like last month. I'm serious. I just like, okay, what are we doing? Like, what's going on? What steps are we taking to really reach what we want to do? And it really comes down to your daily habits. What's your schedule? What are you doing every day to build up to where you want to be? So I'm in a place right now where I'm like, already like August, I'm like, okay, this has been a good month to just start new habits. And I've been sticking with them. So that's kind of what I hope. Obviously, I don't know where life's going to take me, but staying focused on performing and all the steps that I'm going to take to get there, which is like taking more class, being in the room, just being prepared. I feel like you just have to be ready, and then those opportunities will fall into your lap from the universe, hopefully.
Yeah, I've heard this saying, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Ooh, yes.
So what you're just saying right now, being ready for it, so that actually makes sense.
Right.
So I applaud it.
Yes, thank you. And I also don't think that opportunities will come to you if you're not prepared.
No, there's another saying too, like it's something about opportunities. Opportunity favors the prepared. So so if you're prepared and you're always ready to go, I see what you're doing right now.
Yes.
So bravo to you.
Thank you, Vaughn. So we'll see. We'll check back in.
I'm gonna definitely be checking in.
Good,
you know what I
mean? Thank you.
Yeah. But so that's our 3 questions.
Thank you.
I
love it.
But we do have a bonus question that I like to throw out there.
Yes.
But it only comes in if you win rock, paper, scissors.
Ooh, okay, let's go.
So it's rock, paper, scissors says shoot.
Yes.
So here's
rock,
the rules.
paper, scissors, your symbol.
Okay.
Yes.
So
after,
Yep. So rock, paper, scissors says shoot.
Okay.
So it's on shoot. Okay, so if you win, you get to ask me a question.
Okay.
If I win, I get to ask you a question.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Is it 1 or 2 out of 3?
1.
1?
It's
one and done?
It's one of those sudden death type things.
Ooh, okay.
All right, so it says rock, paper, scissors, says shoot.
Okay.
All right.
Ready?
Ready? Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. Oh, no, we got to do it again. All right.
Okay, ready?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
No!
How do I keep winning? Every episode.
That's a skill. Wow. Okay.
Every episode, no one's asked me a question. Actually, no, I've had one question asked of me. Everybody else, I got to ask a question now.
Okay.
I ain't going to be too hard on you now.
Okay.
All right, now. So, when it comes to Paige,
Okay.
and when it comes to dance,
Okay.
what do you prefer as far as the styling of dance that you've been in contact with? Like, what's the style that you feel most comfortable with?
Jazz.
Jazz.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I've been doing the longest. That's what I've studied the longest. And I just love it. I love the lines, the shapes, the isolations of it, and the history of it. And yeah, I mean, everything is a fusion at the end of the day, right? But I would say jazz is my bag.
One other thing that I was a bit curious about.
Sure.
As far as and I respect that when it comes to jazz. Is there a big difference as far as like when you were in London, the UK?
Okay.
As far as learning like the style of dance that they would do, like as far as the teaching, and then you come over here and then you would be taught here. Is there a difference?
So I actually was taught by an American woman.
Oh, so that doesn't count. That doesn't
in London. She was our great family friend.
That doesn't count.
But I don't know, because I've taken class out there. I actually was very fortunate to study abroad in London during college, so I did take a couple dance classes. But I mean, the structure is relatively similar.
Okay.
I couldn't pinpoint a distinct difference, but you know, everybody has their own style. So.
Okay. All right, I'll leave it at that then. I went to London once.
Ooh,
and we did talk about this. We did talk about that. Yeah, we did talk about it, and then it just felt like I walked in a mirror because everything's backwards. Mm-hmm. As far as you sit on the opposite side of the road. I almost got hit by a double-decker bus.
Yep, you gotta watch out.
Because the way those guys, the way the person was driving, he was like literally like 2 inches from the curve.
Yes.
And I'm like, dude, aren't you supposed to be on the other side? But then I had to realize what country I'm in. No, right. He's right. I'm the American here, and I'm still trying to figure this out.
Okay, wait.
It was wild.
Am I allowed to still ask you a question? Even though I lost.
Please do. Because I keep winning these. I keep winning these. So please ask a question.
Okay, I do always like asking this question. And as a teacher, what is the last book that you read, Vaughn? Or what's the most like influential book you've ever read?
I'll answer that.
Okay.
Because I'm still reading a few books, but not a few, but a book right now that I actually picked up. It's called 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson.
Yes.
So I'm reading that.
Cool.
But there is a book that I would say is very influential to me, and that is As a Man Thinketh.
Ooh, okay.
And it was only sold to me. It's just a funny story. I actually walked into a bookstore with a friend of mine. I was still in high school at this time.
Okay.
And the man behind the counter, he asked me a question, and to this day, I can't remember the question.
Okay.
But I gave him an answer, and he was like, I really like your answer. And my friend that I was with me was like, yo, that was a really good answer.
And I
can't remember what I said. I can't remember the question that was asked of me.
Right.
It's terrible. I wish I could.
Right.
And he says, I know exactly what book you need.
Ooh.
And he went in the back, came out with that book, As a Man Thinketh.
As a Man Thinketh.
Yeah. So.
Right.
So that book.
And it's about philosophy.
It's definitely a philosophy type of book, but it's talking about how your thoughts can become real.
Okay, yes.
Very much so. So it's like, you know, it's there's a few books that talk about that type of thing.
Of course.
But As a Man Thinketh, it's a short book. It's not thick. It's not 800 pages.
Yes.
It's probably maybe 100 to 120
Ooh.
pages long, but it's to the point. And it's something that you would have to reread.
I like that.
You read it once and you read it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, As a Man Thinketh.
I'll take that into consideration. I love book recommendations, so thank you, Vaughn.
Has a green cover.
Okay. I have a library card, so I'm going to go. Go check it out.
Yep.
Cool.
So, again, thank you for coming out.
Thank you, Vaughn.
I appreciate your time that you've spent with me.
Absolutely.
And with 3 questions.
Thank you.
And I hope you'll come back.
I would love to.
I would love to have you back. Part 2.
Cool.
So,
thank you, Vaughn. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
For running it, you know, setting everything up.
Yep. So until the next one, deuces.
Cool.
And again, Paige.
Thank you.
We out. All right.
So fun.